ScoopSlammed, the ScoopSlammed podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the ScoopSlammed podcast. We are back once again. Last weekend was WWE Survivor Series from Vancouver, and we are here to break it all down. As always, one of the last big shows of the year. It's going to be kind of a tight schedule through the next little bit. We've got Survivor Series review this weekend, or what that we're doing now. Next week, I think we're going to do maybe a regular review, and then the next week, Saturday night's main event, and then Scoopies. So just make sure to stay tuned to our socials so you know what we got going on. But before we get too far into anything like Survivor Series, as always, on the other end of the call, he is the co-host of the ScoopSlammed podcast. It's Ryan.
Yo, Micah, great to be back here with you. Scooping, slamming, Survivor Series edition.
Yeah, it is the holidays, and you know what that means for wrestling. It all comes to a grinding halt, really, and I'm interested to see what they do for Saturday night's main event.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at the card, I don't know. But Survivor Series, at least.
Well, they got the Raw on Netflix coming up. That's in 3-4 weeks.
Well, that's at the start of the year, though.
Okay, just saying though. I mean, it's not all doom and gloom from all professional wrestling during this time of year. We got a couple things to look forward to.
Well, I was looking forward to Survivor Series.
Yeah.
And I don't know that they met my expectations. We'll open it up. No champ contender cut this week. We're just keeping it short, sweet, right to the meat of the matter in Survivor Series. We opened up Survivor Series with the women's Wargames match. Liv Morgan, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton. I didn't write down. Hold on. I might have to pull the card up.
Raquel Rodriguez.
Yep.
That was the heel faction.
But there was one more, wasn't there?
Oh, Candice LeRae.
Oh, yeah. How could we miss her?
Yeah.
And then we had
Naomi.
the babyface team.
Yeah, go ahead.
Naomi, Bailey, Bianca, Rhea, and Io Sky.
Yeah.
Again, how could I forget her? This went 38 minutes, which is only 3 minutes shorter than the men's Wargame match. And this one felt every bit of 38 minutes.
Boy, where do you start, Micah? This was it wasn't a good start to the show, man. Very slow, very plotting. A lot of ladies looked tentative in this match. I don't know what was. They were adjusting to the British Columbia weather. I don't know what was going on here. Thanksgiving hangover. Can you explain this, Micah? Botches everywhere.
Maybe Thanksgiving hangover is the best that I could come up with. I don't know. To start off, we did get a TL Hopper mention. Probably the first time in like 20 years.
Long.
Because I remember they were going like, they kept going on and on about the toilet seat and that they had never seen that. And then Corey brought up TL Hopper. And I was like, dude, when is the last time that TL Hopper has ever been mentioned on WWE TV?
That's a deep pull. Well, what's your favorite mid-90s WWF occupational gimmick?
The Goonie is a probably up there, kind of because the name is getting a little bit of resurgence.
Okay, all right. Do you remember Phantasmo, the magician, the mime magician?
I don't remember him.
He had like 3 matches on Raw. He did magic tricks during his match.
Not El Phantasmo, right?
Oh no, not El Phantasmo. Come on now.
Okay. Oh, okay. I have seen this guy before in a picture. Now, does Max Moon count? He's not really occupational, but
Oh, I think he counts. He's occupational.
what was his occupation?
Astronaut. Come on, Micah. Everybody
Okay,
knows
all
that.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like Damien Demento is from he's a nightmare figure from what they build it what they build from? Like the outer dimensions of your consciousness or something like that. It was something weird like that. Damien Demento.
No
You remember
idea.
that. You remember him?
No, I don't think I do. I
Where's
have
he
never
from?
seen this guy before in my life. Hold on. I'll find out where he's billed from, though.
I think he was wasn't he in the main event of the first Monday Night Raw? Am I misremembering that?
Uh, he was billed from the outer reaches of your
No.
mind.
Okay, that was
That is such a deep pull. How do you remember that?
there's some weird gimmicks back then, man.
He was mostly remained a mid-card performer, or he mostly remained a mid-card performer. He was notable for his appearance in the main event of the debut episode of
Oh
Monday
my
Night Raw, where he was
Yes.
defeated by The Undertaker.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's the main event of the first round. Damien Demento versus The Undertaker.
This is why we keep you on the payroll. I don't know how, how do you remember these guys?
I don't know, bro. If you asked me what was the main event of SmackDown last week, I couldn't tell you. But I can tell you Damien Demento was the main event of the first Monday Night Raw.
Well, maybe some of these women should find new occupations after this because it was very, very bad.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Bro, I think I would rather watch Hogan versus Warrior than watch these women's matches now. I can't do it. Just so many botches, man. And people want to pretend like this stuff is good or that the women actually draw. Man, if you've been to an actual live event, you know what the women's matches are, Micah.
Oh
They're
yeah.
bathroom break matches. Nobody's around. Nobody's watching this, man. Nobody enjoys watching this. You don't. If you're watching the NBA, you're watching a heated game 7 of the NBA Finals. They don't just break out into a WNBA game in the second quarter. Like, bro, just give the ladies their own show and give the guys their own show, and just we'll see what can actually draw. How about that?
It's not even so much like that's my problem with it. There's just such a discrepancy between the top, the Rhea,
Yeah.
Bianca, and the Candice LeRae's and the Raquel's. Like, dude, this was bad. Yeah, I feel bad. I feel bad. I sung her praises earlier this year.
We jinxed her.
I think we did. Those chair shots rival Hogan.
They might have been worse.
It might have been worse.
Naomi stunk this match too. She did. And Bailey was really bad too. I don't know what happened to Bailey, but she was bad in this match.
And see, I feel bad because they get defensive about it online. Because I don't know if you saw Nia was saying stuff about how about you get in there and do it, and then I'll tell you what you're doing wrong. But dude, you can't tell me it looks good. Because, okay, when Io Sky got the chair, she chokes up on it, which makes sense because then there's less surface area that you're having to fight against on wind. Plus, you don't have to go as far to swing it.
Yeah.
And so when Io did her chair shots, they looked better, 10 times better. Meanwhile, Nia's choked all the way on the back of it. And there was one point, I believe it was with Naomi. Naomi got out of the way, and there was 5 seconds, and then Nia swings the chair. I'm like, okay. Okay.
And swings it poorly, too.
Yes!
And it sounded like Naomi was laughing when she...
It probably was!
It's just a joke, man. And you knew it was going to be a joke when they brought out a toilet... what was it? The toilet seat? The toilet seat, bro. That's when you knew. Okay, they're not taking this serious.
No. And It was painfully quiet, which is crazy because this was the opener.
Well, look who's in the match.
Yeah.
Look who's in the match, man.
And they grab crap. Every person that ran down, they went and grabbed something before they even got in there.
I was just about to say they used the weapons as a crutch because I don't know. Maybe they think the gimmicks would spice up the match a little bit because this match had no heat going in and had no heat going out. I say the ending sequence was nice, but bro, they took some risk in this match, and the way they set up the risk was just so phony and so fake. The dive spots from Tiffy and EO. Bro, how long did they wait there on the mat for those ladies to jump off?
So long. And it's choreographed when they both jump at the same time and they're on opposing teams.
Yes. And at least have like a close-up shot of one of the women diving or like a split shot of both ladies diving. Don't do a wide shot because then you can see all the ladies just standing there like what JR say, huddling up like quail, waiting on somebody to jump on them.
I mean,
so bad.
You're saying nothing that I disagree with because I wrote down all of the same things.
And one more thing, and then we could probably move on. The Tiffy cash in, bro, they had a chance to do something special. And then we just went back down the same road of her teasing it and it not happening. I'm over it. I don't care. I really don't care. I'm over Tiffy. I
think she's good.
Is she?
I think she's better than most. It's not a high bar to jump over.
That's saying something.
Like, she's athletic, but I mean, she definitely had her spots in here too. It's crazy because I give EO the pass for doing the dive because other than that, most of her other stuff looked pretty good. I thought she probably looked the best of this whole thing, her or Bianca.
She did innovative stuff, but it's just that trash can thing, the moonsault with the trash can over her head. Bro, it was ruined by the shot of them just waiting there like for 5-10 minutes. It just looked bad.
And it don't help whenever like she does it in every single match. And people are like, oh, this is such an iconic like Survivor Series moment.
You know what it is?
Is it?
You know what it is? It's the Kofi Royal Rumble spot. That's what it is now. She finds a way to do it in because she's been in every women's Wargames match. Yeah. Did you know that? She's been in every single one.
I saw when they put the graphic up there that she had been.
It's insane.
I will save some of my like Wargames as a whole takes until we get to the men's match. But especially the women, like just go back to the Survivor tag team match because this is bad.
Did you look at my notes? I was about to say this should have been the 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series match.
I think you stole mine. Well, and not only that, a lot of the things that people are getting outraged about, and I wanted to ask your opinion on this. Rhea getting beaten with a baseball bat.
Mm-hmm.
And then getting up for another bump 2 minutes later. And then being the one to finish the match out. Come on. I like Rhea. But she ain't, like, that's not even something, like, that would be believable for Hulk Hogan. Like, most people get, like, hospitalized for baseball bat attacks.
Maybe the demon mask that she was wearing, Micah.
Power.
It gave her extra power.
She learned that from Finn in the Judgment Day.
There you go. That answers your question on it.
But I mean, any net positive, I would say the riptide through the table.
Yeah.
And I thought Naomi had a really good sell for the code breaker. Because instead of falling over forward and then falling backwards, like her legs flew out from under her. I thought that was neat just because you don't typically see that. But
were you didn't dig the Candice LeRae moonsault where she completely missed the lady she was delivering the moonsault to?
Yeah, wasn't that when was it Bianca that was like on the chairs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hit her forearms.
That's what I'm saying. Like, first off, half of them aren't believable. Like Nia, Rhea, Bianca, Naomi, Bailey. I can all buy in a fight. Halfway live, maybe. But like Candice LeRae in a fight, dude, she's smaller than Orange Cassidy. She's Adam Cole size.
Yeah, I was about to say they might be they might be neck and neck, bro.
So I don't understand how this is presented as believable. But anyways, we'll move on. This was really bad, and I can't sit there and not call out some of this stuff, especially the baseball bat spot, because I know that if AEW had done something like that, I would have been all over it. So I'm gonna call it down the middle. This was awful. Probably the worst War Games match I've seen since I started watching wrestling again.
It might be the worst match of the year. I'm being dead serious, bro. It was bad.
That takes in a lot of. I don't even remember what I put for like the mid-year awards match of the year or worst match of the year.
Yeah, well, I know this one's number one on my book right now.
Yeah. And just like the college football playoff committee, we got some recency bias. But we won't get into football because typically when I mention Alabama, they start doing bad. So
can't do bad this week. We're off.
Yeah, but Clemson could win, and then things get all messed up.
I don't know about that. We'll see.
I think I would be salivating at the opportunity to play Notre Dame in the first round, personally.
Bro, that's an easy bracket to be in. You got Notre Dame and then possibly Boise State next round.
I thought it was SMU next round.
Is it okay, you might be right. But if SMU loses to Clemson, SMU drops completely out of there, right?
They said it was possible, but I don't know. They have they do have a ranked win, but they have the worst Power 4 strength of schedule outside of UNC.
Yeah. Bro, they gave him a cakewalk into the ACC. Just like how they did Oregon. They gave him a cakewalk to the Big Ten their first year.
And Texas.
Texas too, yeah.
But all them Texas fans love to tell you them Longhorns doing it all this year. And then they got dog walked by Georgia at home.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think it stomped out by Georgia again.
I think I despise Texas more than Georgia. But speaking of things that I despised, the next match was for the United States Championship. We had Shinsuke Nakamura versus LA Knight.
Well, who are you despising here?
Well, it's not necessarily this match because I will admit the new presentation for Shinsuke, I actually really like.
Yeah.
Especially on SmackDown because the way they had the screen set up, the moon like perfectly matched that red light they had cast on the floor. That was sick.
Yeah. Like a Ghost of Tsushima, bro. He had the little mask on and everything.
Yeah. It was real. Like, the presentation is there.
Yeah.
The problem is...
Yes?
What next?
That GD Bell got a ring, man.
Yeah, I mean... And that kind of happened here.
I wasn't digging the gear when the robe came off. No diddy. I didn't like that look Shinsuke had.
Nah, I think there should be some more color in it. I also didn't like the face paint. I don't really know what was going on there. But like the entrance to the ring, man, 10 out of 10, like premium.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
music was great too.
Yeah, and they kind of tweaked it from the one on SmackDown. I thought the one on SmackDown was better, but I still really like it, and it's enough that people that really liked his old theme can still get behind it. But the new, it's enough different that it makes sense for like the personality change. Now I have to ask you.
Yeah.
You think LA Knight had a little job face coming out?
Boo boo job face. You can tell he was rattled. I don't know if that was him selling the story of the match of him being off his game. But when he dropped his title, I was like, all right, man, bro, that's a bad omen right there. He's done for.
Yeah. To me, it kind of seemed like I don't know, even when he walked out, he wasn't doing like his normal trash talk. It didn't seem like he was really like making a point to flaunt the belt. He just kind of like was throwing it up with his arm. I don't know. That too.
Yeah.
It
that little boo-boo job face. Yeah.
And I kind of get it, because the thing that I was talking about I despise is his booking since he won the U.S. title run. Or since he won the U.S. title, I mean.
Yeah. He hasn't had a great feud.
No, because they have done nothing to accentuate his strong points of the mic work. They put him against Carmelo and Andrade, which he was kind of thrust in the middle of that feud. And neither of them can do mic work near what LA Knight can do. I mean, we've seen Carmelo messes up his backstage promos, and we've seen Andrade talk about Mr. Stink. So I don't really know what the thought process behind that was. And then now they put him against Shinsuke, who we also know can't cut a promo. Like, I just don't see the thought process, and I really don't see the thought process behind putting the belt on Shinsuke.
I think it worked. And let me tell you why. I think it works because the mid-card titles, they should not be held up for year-long reigns like Gunther did last year, or like I don't know, Dean Ambrose did in 2013 when he held the US title for 10 months. I don't like that. Those mid-card titles, they should be passed around more often than they are right now. It adds a layer of unpredictability, and it freshens things up on the week-to-week product, bro. So I didn't hate that. I actually liked that decision. Now, I mean, Shinsuke was off for 6 months and then just got handed the title. That's something you can debate about, but them switching the titles, I did not have a problem.
Yeah. I see your point, but and like I agree they shouldn't have it held up for so long, but I just feel bad for LA Knight because I feel like they haven't done anything for him. And that probably is why he had boo-boo job face, because Shinsuke comes back and immediately gets the title. It's like, well, I've been here and y'all haven't done anything with me. And he kind of got hosed for the longest time without getting a title.
But who was he going to feud with next, Mike? There was nobody left on SmackDown. Who is LA Knight going to feud with? At least this opens him up for like a Rumble, a possibility of a Rumble win.
I'd have to look at the roster. They've got somebody that can do mic work.
No,
what about Kevin Owens in the meantime? Well, he's feuding with Cody.
Yeah, exactly. But I was gonna say the mid card, he's beaten everybody in the mid card. He's beat Carmelo. He's beat Andrade. He's beat Santos. Who's left on SmackDown, bro? SmackDown's really thin right now.
AJ? Well, no, he's hurt, ain't he?
He's hurt, yeah. And they feuded, didn't they?
Oh, yeah, they did at WrestleMania. I don't know. As far as the match goes, I thought it was pretty hard hitting at the beginning. It kind of lulled a little in the middle, but just I was shocked by the finish, and you could tell a lot of the fans were too, especially in the front row, just because you could actually see their reaction. Nobody expected that.
Oh, it's got to be Shin's first win since what? I don't know, because he's been gone a while. So I don't know, maybe March, February. I think I saw a stat that said that he's only won 2 matches this year.
Jesus.
I was like, well, surely that can't be right, but it might be. I don't know.
He's probably got the Finn Balor pay-per-view record too that we went into a couple weeks ago.
Oh, Finn Balor, yeah.
Finn Balor. Which apparently he's in line for another singles push. I don't know if you saw that today. Well, they've been saying that for the past 5 years.
We'll get to that later. But as far as the match goes, the LA Knight Shinsuke Nakamura match, I liked it. I actually because it didn't go 15, 20 minutes and they didn't kick out of everything. So that was refreshing. I think this is the match they should have had.
I mean, I do agree with you in that aspect. It was less than 10 minutes.
Every match doesn't have to be the main event of WrestleMania.
No.
Like, sometimes you need matches like this to break up other things.
Looking at you, AEW.
Point fingers. But yeah, and Shinsuke's finisher, he delivered it to the back of LA Knight's head. It made Shinsuke look more like a killer because it made his finisher look more devastating. So I like that.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely was not his worst showing. I think he maybe is a little bit crisper right now than he has been, but only time will tell. I'm not exactly intrigued about a Shinsuke Nakamura U.S. title run.
But Micah, the aura.
Oh yeah, man. I tweeted something about Ricky Starks the other day, and somebody retweeted and was like, yeah, but when will y'all be the same way about them not using Shinsuke Nakamura? Have you seen Shinsuke Nakamura in 2024?
Have you seen him since he's left New Japan?
Yeah, exactly. Stinks. Bad. And even worse now.
I hate that we just praise him and then we just bury him like that.
Well, like we talked about it at the beginning. The presentation from the entranceway to the ring, 10 out of 10. And then you hear that ding, 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 and it's like, oh, what's gonna happen? Oh, he still sucks. All right, moving on.
And then you hand him a mic, and then it's like, oh, okay, he definitely sucks. Yeah, the backstage translated promos are pretty cool.
They should keep with that. That could work.
Yeah.
So, well, anyways, we will move on to the next match for the Intercontinental Championship. We got Braun Breaker versus Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser. This one was quick, which was a good thing. It was hard hitting. I wondered why they used a different ring than LA Knight and Shinsuke did. I don't know what the purpose for that was.
I think they always do that now.
Because they swap them out.
Yeah, they do that on the Wargames shows. They never utilize two rings.
Yeah, that kind of irks me.
Yeah, they used to do that in WCW, but they don't do that in WWE for some reason. I guess it's for the hard cam. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, you got both. I don't. I think that WWE and their extensive camera production could definitely make that work. If 1996 WCW could.
Yeah, I don't understand that, but they ever since Triple H brought the War Games stipulation back, even when it was an NXT exclusive, they always alternate the rings for the regular matches, and then for the War Games match, they utilize both the rings. I don't know.
Well, a lot of the highlight on this one was the outside of the ring, because move over, John Cena. I think Braun probably hit the best shoulder tackle I've ever seen in a wrestling atmosphere.
How does he, bro? His vertical is insane, and the explosiveness. I was a Braun hater not too long ago, but with athletic gifts like he has, man, it's hard to not put him as the number one wrestler under 30 years old. It's hard.
That's what I've been trying to tell you. And I told Hannah that last night because I was watching the match, I think with her, and she was like, oh, I just hate him. He just seems like just a jock. Like, what's special about him? I was like, you just have to watch him. The bell rings. He's like Brock Lesnar back in the day. Like, there's nothing. Yeah. There's not anything necessarily like pulling you in, but you just know something freaking insane is going to happen when he's in the ring.
It's something special about those freak athletes. Like, they just move differently. Like explosive athletes like Goldberg or like Brock, like Braun Breaker, bro. It's just something. I don't know. When they pick guys up, it doesn't seem like the guys are helping them out. They're doing it out of strength and just technique. I don't know, man. It's something about those athletes that I get a kick out of.
Yeah.
Obafemi's the same way.
That's exactly what I was about to say. And I'm very excited for him to come up to the main roster. I think that'll probably be something they do next year.
Please, SmackDown. Draft Oba.
They need something. I mean, we just went over that, but Overall, I thought this was a good match. It was hard hitting. The spear finish, that was also very, very nice. Very well done. And I mean, it all ties into the package that is Braun Breaker.
I think Kaiser was a little standout in this match too. He has something.
I think he will be good in the future. I've come around on him a little more because I know you tried to sing his praises after Royal Rumble. Especially the way they're kind of doing the Gunther Ludwig like angle right now, which I don't really care for the Gunther side of it, but I think it'll work. I think he can get over. I think a babyface will be hard just because he looks like such a pretentious, like foreign douchebag.
Yeah, I think it was Taker that said, you look at a guy like Kaiser, and he just has that face that you just want to slap around. And it's true, bro. He kind of reminds me. He reminds me of William Regal, the little pompous, better than you heel, foreigner type thing. It works for him. He's somebody you should watch out for too.
Yeah, I think most improved next year is going to be very interesting because NXT are kind of on the cusp of coming up, and then you also have those guys who have been in the mid card. Even like Dominic Mysterio, I don't think it's crazy to say that he could get a world title run next year.
Bronson Reed,
him too. He did. He impressed me a lot with the men's Wargames match, even though I maybe not was crazy about it. I thought he did very good.
Yeah. They Raw has so many great mid-card talents that SmackDown could really use.
Yeah. Because it feels like I can't even think of anybody for Shinsuke to go against right now.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Braun obviously picks up the win. Is there anybody off the top of your head you would like to see him go up against next? Because I feel like the Sheamus Ludwig thing may go into its own. I don't know.
Babyface. He's already feuded with Sammy. He's already feuded with Jey Uso. I can't see anybody in the pipeline.
It's hard for me to think of the rosters too, and I don't have them in front of me.
I don't know, man. That's a great question. I would have said Damian Priest, but it looks like he's gonna be tied up.
Oh God, don't remind me. I maybe would not hate a small feud with Dom, but I don't think that they will run with that.
Yeah, he's heel though.
Oh, that's right. I keep thinking Braun's babyface because it was like when he first came in.
Yeah, I don't know where you go. Like as far as babyface is on the rise for Raw.
Maybe like Otis for a short bit.
Stop it. Come on, man. What? Otis?
Who else are they gonna go with?
Why is that? Bro, I'd rather than run it back with anybody. Like Jey Uso. Run it back with Jey Uso. Don't run it back. Otis.
He's big.
He is big, but you want to see Otis in a PLE match?
No, I didn't. Whoa. I didn't say a PLE match. I just said, short TV feud.
I don't know. What's Sami Zayn doing? Sami Zayn okay?
He's probably still tied up with the bloodline. What's the LWO doing?
Are they on Raw?
I thought, yeah, you got. Oh, what about Ray? That could be all right.
You know what? Yeah, that could be his next feud. Actually,
I wouldn't hate that.
That'd be a good match.
And I mean, it gives them another legend to go over. Not that, I feel like Sheamus will probably be a Hall of Famer by the end of it, but Ray is definitely another echelon up. But moving on for the World Heavyweight Championship, we got Gunther versus Damian Priest, which I feel like we just saw this.
No, we did. It was at SummerSlam.
And
the same ending.
Yes.
Hey man, I love Triple H. I didn't like the Reign of Terror. He's done some goodwill with NXT booking. And ever since he started booking for the main shows, Raw, SmackDown, it's been some good stuff. However, I think all these run-ins, bro, is a detriment to the product.
I agree. We've nagged AEW about it for years now.
I know you're trying to keep people strong by having an out like that, but if you keep everybody strong, is anybody truly strong?
Yeah. Especially Gunther, who
Should have
has,
won clean.
and he's been pretty statistically dominant. I don't think it really takes a whole lot away from Damian to lose, but then the announcers are like, yeah, I feel like this is a must win for Damian Priest because if he loses this, he goes right back in the middle of the mix. Then why is he in that spot? We've already seen this. Damian's not going to get any more over from it. And I feel like he comes out worse because now we're coming right back to the Finn feud that you heard it at Bad Blood. I heard it at Bad Blood. The people heard it at Bad Blood. The people don't care anymore.
No. And this was a good match too. I'll sing his praises. It was a good match. It was a good wrestling match. They worked the body part throughout. But that ending, bro, it just felt like such a repeat because it was a repeat. It was an exact repeat of what happened at SummerSlam.
And I just don't. What do they gain?
They are rehashing what has already been beaten into the ground. Just like, we sung the praise of the finish of the women's War Games match with Liv and Rhea. But it looks like they're running that back too. And I don't think people really care about that anymore either.
No, not at all.
Are we just going to stretch this out till Mania?
God, please. Don't even give them the idea. Don't even put that in the air for someone else to hear it. It's been long enough. How long has the Judgment Day split been going? Since SummerSlam?
Judgment Day as a group been going since Vince was in charge.
No, I know, but I'm just talking about whenever they fully split.
Oh, yeah.
And it's December. And we've already seen almost any iteration, any match, any stipulation, and it still is nowhere.
I don't think anybody comes out good on the other end of this feud. Just because they stretched out too long, bro. It should have just been over at Bad Blood.
Yeah. It literally, the pay-per-view is literally called Bad Blood.
I thought the whole beef was over. I really did. But it doesn't look like it.
No. And speaking of that, I'm trying to really look at who I think Gunther could go against next. And I don't really love I don't like the way they've been doing Gunther in terms of he lost his confidence because he lost to Cody. The whole thing that he has ran with for so long has been just being the dominant foreign great wrestler heel. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
You know what I can see? Or Gunther's next title program, I can see a triple threat match with Finn, Damian, and Gunther. I can see that.
I don't want to see it though.
Oh no, I don't want to see it either, but it looks like that's the direction they're going in. And what if? I'm not advocating for this, Micah, but what if they put the title on Finn?
Get out of here.
I'm just saying, what if? Because you were just saying Gunther has nobody else to feud with. What better way to shake up the title scene by putting the title on Finn Balor? Micah, did you hang up?
I think we need to go with your methodology of a couple months ago of trading Drew McIntyre to SmackDown.
I think it's too late. Because it looked like Drew is feuding with who did he run it? Was it Sammy? He beat up Sammy?
I thought, wait, huh? When was that?
Oh, I didn't mean to spoil Raw for you, but yeah,
No,
Drew
I
came
watched
back.
Raw, but I didn't see that.
He came back at the end.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, I didn't watch
Oh,
it
you
in that
didn't
match.
you didn't watch the end?
Yeah, sorry. Old Seth Franklin was on that. That just don't work for me, brother.
Well, he came out to I think he beat up Sammy. Was that Sammy? I'm trying to remember. I think it was Sammy, yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
Seth and Sammy was the main event.
it
I
was
was thinking
either
maybe if they had done like a Drew McIntyre LA Knight swap, and I mean, what if LA just stole one from Gunther? I wouldn't hate that.
I would love that, but I just don't think that's where they're going. Hey, bro, you say Triple H is loyal to his guys. I mean, come
Sadly,
on. Look at Karrion Kross. We do not, I don't think the live audience believes in Karrion Kross, but Triple H is hell bent on getting Karrion Kross over. Look at Shinsuke. Nobody cared about Shinsuke. He was left for dead during the Vince regime, and he's completely revitalized Shin. He put him in world title programs. He changed his gimmick. He put more mid card titles on Shin. I can see him looking out for his boy Finn Balor and putting the world title on him. I can see it.
I
And
strongly think that is not the direction to go before Mania.
but what if we get CM Punk to beat Finn Balor, and then you got CM Punk as world champion going into WrestleMania, into an eventual Seth Rollins CM Punk angle? Well, if Finn is just the transitional champion, because you can't have CM Punk beat Gunther.
Eh, you could. I wouldn't hate that.
It's like, okay, like the Iron Sheik, Micah. The Iron Sheik, he put the camel clutch on Bob Backlund in the Garden in 1984. Or maybe 82. Was it 82? Yeah, I think it was 82. Put the camel clutch on Bob Backlund. And then, like, within 3 weeks, he dropped the title to Hulk Hogan. You know why? Because he was a transitional champion. You couldn't have Hogan beat Bob Backlund.
I mean, you got a point. And I feel like we may have stepped on our own toes here because now that I'm looking at the Saturday night's main event card, Gunther versus Finn Balor is on the card. So whether or not Damian gets added to that, we'll see. But I didn't know that was already on the card.
Is that a world title match?
Yeah.
Wow. And I tuned in for the first hour of Raw, and then I fell asleep.
That's real. I got to the New Day segment, and I was like, all right, this is what I came for.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Which we'll maybe talk about that next week. I don't know. We got to see how everything's going to shake out. But we have arrived at the main event, Ryan. The men's War Game match, probably the only reason that anybody turned this show on.
Mm-hmm.
The OG Bloodline. I ain't even got to call them all out by name. Plus Bronson Reed. Blonson Reed. Dyes hair blonde. Versus Roman Reigns, the Usos, Sami Zayn, and CM Punk. I was very hyped for this. I thought that this is probably the best match they could have made. I think Punk's involvement was way better than having Seth involved in it, especially since they've turned that aspect of it into a storyline or like a bone of contention between Punk and Seth. However, I wasn't a fan.
You know, so you weren't interested at all?
No,
Did you
there
see how
was.
much? Did you see how many clicks and views that CM Punk and Roman Reigns interactions got, Micah? Did you see that little stat going around that it got 204 million views in its first 24 hours?
My God,
Across all platforms.
I did see that. And I liked like when Punk came out and he pushed them, and I heard that was an ad lib, which makes it even better because Punk's probably my favorite at this point. stuff like that was great. The interactions with Roman and Punk and even like Sammy, because those of us who pay attention to the dirt sheets know that there was like heat in the past for that. And like Punk obviously was not near WWE when all this OG bloodline stuff was happening. But the match, I don't know. There was points that I liked. There was aspects of it, but like as a whole, I thought a lot of it was clunky. A lot of it, to me, advocated for why they shouldn't do war games anymore.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you, is it the concept in itself? Because I think War Games falls into that category that the Iron Man match falls into, where, they put a time limit on the Iron Man match, so the finish isn't going to happen until, such and such time. And you're just kind of waiting around for the last 2 minutes or so. Is that what we got with the War Game stipulation?
I think it's a lot of factors. That being one of them, 100%. I think the unwillingness for WWE to do anything real, like hardcore, unless something calls for it. Like Punk and Drew, that made sense. But they're like, nobody's going to get color in a War Games match. There's not going to be any like big dastardly spots. It's a bunch of guys fighting in a cage and they do a bunch of spots and it's just hokey, like kind of inherently. Roman climbs the cage and fights off 5 guys at once. Come on.
Well, that's the OTC, Micah. Watch your tone, buddy.
Bad time to be a 3-letter acronym named person in this past week. I don't know. I didn't really care for it. Like, I like the stars, I like the interactions, but nothing happens.
I think Jacob Fatu looked pretty good in this match. And Bronson Reed, the dive off the cage, that's going to be played for generations to come. And I don't think we give enough credit to the timing of that spot. Like CM Punk had to be perfect on that timing to pull Roman off the table. And that might have, I think he was a little too perfect because that might have contributed to the reason Bronson Reed snapped his ankles, because he probably thought CM Punk wasn't going to make it. So he probably put his feet up where they weren't supposed to be and it snapped his ankles.
Did he like break his? I heard he got injured, but I didn't know what for sure.
That's what's been floating around is snap his ankles. And then Triple H said in the presser after the show that, yeah, he's a little dinged up. I don't know.
He's just like the guy on SpongeBob. Every morning I break my legs, and every night I break my arms.
He pulled an Adam Copeland, man.
Yeah, not as bad.
How crazy is that? He's 400 pounds. Maybe 350, 360, but still, jumping off the top of a cage is insane.
Oh yeah, I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Like that spot really cool. Something that I enjoyed. A lot of people, like to crap on it because they were saying like, "Oh, y'all complain about the no selling." Punk doing the bulldog on the toolbox. Jacob Fatu popping right up. That was sick. Like the people got up for that. I thought Jacob and Bronson looked really good.
Well, pause. You cannot hit a Samoan in the head with anything. They're not going to sell it. That's been told for generations. So
exactly.
That's not a big issue.
It's also different when Jacob Fatu is a legit person you would not want to run into on the street compared to Orange Cassidy or Daniel Garcia. Like, that's the thing that they don't understand. It's not the no selling in and of itself. It's who is doing the no selling.
Exactly. Who's doing it? It looks phony when Jungle Jack Perry is, laughing off kendo sticks and staple guns to the chest. That looks silly. Yeah. But you can conceivably believe that Jacob Fatu is a crash out.
Oh, 100%.
Shout out Tama Tonga too, because he is what he's been given, he makes
Dude,
the most of it.
I don't even know how to describe like what would you even say that gimmick is, or like what is he trying to do? It works, but what is it?
I don't know, but he's doing it. He's doing it well, bro. Him and
'Cause
Jacob fought too.
he was just sitting there in the corner when the match started, just yeah, and like Corey or Michael was like, "What is he doing?" And the other one was like, "I have no idea, Cole."
He's getting it over. The fans are starting to do it too.
I mean, like I said, you can't describe it, but you just kind of have to like it.
Yeah, it works.
I do have to give some props to Jimmy for actually just running in and not grabbing a weapon at first, because I think he was the first person that did that all freaking night.
Yeah. Like
So
my brother's getting beat up and castrated live in front of everybody. Let me just go in the ring, see what I can.
yeah.
Let me go.
Oh,
Let me go Black Friday shopping real quick under the ring.
guess what they're not gonna expect? A third trash can. And other than that, I really like the Punk saving Roman spot. There was a really rough botch. I don't know if you remember it, where Punk picked up somebody for the GTS and Roman speared him accidentally. They said Roman got hung up on the ropes, but it was really like there was a mistiming and it kind of took the heat out of it, I think.
Yeah, it was a little off. I remember.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
And other than that, I mean, just kind of a lot of standing around
waiting,
trying to figure out what to do. And that's what I'm saying. I don't really like that in a Wargames match. It makes more sense to be the last survivor, or even to get a hot tag and Roman come in and clear all the guys out, compared to climbing in the cage and all 5 of them can't beat him up.
Or maybe if we just had like tornado tag rules for this and they all just start out in the ring, maybe that had something to it that might be a little bit more entertaining.
Yeah. Because I thought about this.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, what if they just took the stipulation away, like where the match begins whenever the last person enters the ring? Well, they just make it first pinfall wins. You know what I mean? And then next year, if you do that and somebody wins on the third entrant, I mean, people might be pissed off, but like it adds a sense of realism.
I was about to say, what if you paid all that money to go see Roman Reigns and he doesn't even step out the shark cage? You just get the aura.
Yeah, you can feel the aura from your seat. Well, okay, then what if they did it in the women's match where it don't matter, and then the men's match they have everybody go in there?
Well, what if this is just the last year of War Games? How about we just get rid of this?
I agree.
Bring up the Iron Survivor Challenge thing. That's pretty cool.
I do like that, and it's fresh.
Yeah. Oh, and one more thing before we wrap this match up. Solo Sikoa, going out in the Shield at the end, 5-on-1. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I really did like the finish. Now, maybe the other stuff wasn't good, but like all the guys getting their finish in, it was the happy rah-rah moment. And
Roman shaking Punk's hand too.
Yeah. And Paul coming out there too. I forgot about that. And him saying, my tribal chief, the best in the world. We've got to work together to win this match. Like, and the people went crazy when Paul came out. Like, they're also over. The match didn't really have to be great. It still worked. But for me, I just didn't really love it. I like seeing all the guys, and like Punk and Jacob Fatu worked most of the match together. And somehow in all this, like, wow, look at all these people they can work with. I never thought of those two working together.
Yeah.
So
how crazy is it though that 12 years after Roman saves CM Punk's title reign, that they are in the middle of the ring shaking each other's hand, letting bygones be bygones.
Yeah. And arguably Punk saves Roman's chance to be the tribal chief all these years later.
Yeah. It's insane. Can you imagine Go. Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and all of this is crazy because Punk was away for so long.
Yeah, I was about to say, when the Bloodline story first got started, did you ever think in the year 2024 that we would see CM Punk and the Gorillas of Destiny having a part of this storyline?
No, not at all. And Jacob Fatu, and
Yeah.
I do have one thing, and I won't confirm or deny it before the Scoopies.
Mm.
Is it crazy to put Solo in contention for most improved?
He's got some stiff competition because I think Bronson Reed has something to say about that. His second half of 2024 needs to be studied, man, because he put on just that whole when he got what was it that he got sick before the Australia show or he got hurt? Was it Seth that got hurt and he had to pull out? What was that whole thing in February?
No, Bronson got hurt, I think, because he was in the Elimination Chamber, but then
He might have
something
got
else
COVID.
happened.
I think he got COVID.
That's right.
He got COVID or something, and his wife went into labor or something to that effect. It was something weird like that. But his whole
Google is
his
our
whole
friend.
His whole career trajectory changed. Like just one simple attack on Seth Rollins, and 6 tsunami splashes later, and he's a made man there in that company now.
Yeah,
like, I'm actually
and
looking forward. I look forward to his matches now.
And it's not crazy to think that he's going to be a champion here soon, whether that be a world title or mid card title.
I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it at all.
I'm trying to see. I don't find anything on his Wikipedia about him getting pulled, but I do remember what you're talking about. I just can't think of the specifics of it off the
I
top
think it
of
was
my
Seth.
head.
It was Seth that got hurt, so the match had to get dropped. Because remember, fragile Seth Rollins always gets hurt. And then people were wondering, is Seth going to be able to even make WrestleMania?
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Because okay, here we go. We got Bronson Reed shoots down rumor about why he is missing WWE Elimination Chamber. He is not competing on this Saturday's Elimination Chamber, which takes place of his home country of Australia. They speculated that he didn't get booked for the show due to his wife being pregnant. He said, "Yes, my wife is pregnant. No, that's not the reason I'm not on WWE Chamber. Thank you for your concerns. Sometimes the stars don't align." So I don't know. Maybe he didn't get hurt and we were confused, but
it was Seth.
I mean,
fragile Seth.
But I'm sure, like, can you imagine probably how he felt in February compared to now?
Yeah.
So I think the sky's the limit for Bronson. We'll see what happens, especially as we're about to heat up into WrestleMania season. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to Survivor. Well, hold on before we get out of here. 1 out of 10, Ryan, Survivor Series. What you got?
Give it a 5.7. I enjoyed the triple threat match, the cinema of the main event, but the women's match was long, boring, plotting, botch fest, and the Shinsuke and LA Knight match was just there. It did its job. It wasn't supposed to be, a barn burner, but overall, man, it was one of the weaker PLEs they did all year. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 4.5.
All right.
I think this might be the worst pay-per-view outside of that awful Crown Jewel snoozer that we watched a couple of weeks ago.
Ain't no way. Well, that Bash in Berlin show, wasn't that pretty boring too?
I don't remember the card outside of the Gunther match.
Well, shouldn't that tell you something?
Yeah, now that you bring it up, I guess that is good. I don't know. I just remember that Crown Jewel match. I mean, we literally titled it Snoozer in Saudi.
Well. A lot of people hate Bad Boy too.
See, and that's crazy. I know the middle of it lulled, but I loved it. Now, maybe that's because we were there, and a lot of people hate on, The Rock only showed up because I don't care. It was The Rock. I popped. Don't care.
Oh yeah, I agree.
The Bash in Berlin show had Punk and Drew, so I don't know. It may get points above this one, but it definitely won't be the worst pay-per-view of the year. I'm pretty sure AEW is going to hold that crown, but we shall see.
Okay.
But before we get too far out of anything, make sure to follow our socials. The link will be in the description because we got kind of a weird schedule going on this year because last year they didn't have December pay-per-views outside of AEW, but it's at the end. But with WWE having this one, it kind of throws our typical schedule out of loop. So make sure you follow us, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, even TikTok, all that stuff. I've been putting out stuff to make sure that you guys know what we're uploading next. As always, we appreciate you guys listening. We will be back next week, either with awards or reviews or something. I don't know. Tune in to figure it out. Thank you guys for listening. Have a good one.